Hello, everyone. How are you? Welcome to the inaugural premiere, the first, what I'm calling Breaking Borders and Shattering Paradigms. Thanks for tuning in. Share, share, share. We're all in this together. These two themes really are, they're so vital right now, and they blend together so nicely. And really, for me, they're the cornerstones of what is being created through us. And we have the opportunity to be part of that creating. And for me, what's really an important distinction is this work that's happening, this renaissance in so many ways, is being done through us. So it's not even so much we're the ones that are originating it or creating it. We're the ones that are participating in it. And what I have heard from Source, and not just me, but so many people and pockets of people around the internet, is the changes and the transformations that are happening now are the likes that probably none of us have seen in our lifetime. When I say renaissance, I don't think that's the wrong word. Thanks you for jumping on board and tuning in, guys. I appreciate it. I see who you are, or I see how many of you there are, but I don't see who you are. So if you want to shout out in the comments and say hi, that would be wonderful and muchly appreciated. I look back. I'm not a historian at all, and I look back to the sort of the industrial age, and there's these things, these events that happened that really changed the face of the earth. Even things like the assembly line, like mass production, international air travel, and then of course all these gadgets I'm looking at around me, computers. When you think about it, when computers were created, and of course this, right? Even this little thing here, and there are those times when there's been a change that's been introduced that has transformed the way we work, live, play, and all that other stuff forever. Probably most of you that are watching us don't remember a time before these. Here, I'll tell you this. I was in the Bower Mall, so Red Deer, Alberta. That's where we're at. I will get the topic here in a second. These lives won't be too long. And I was in the Bower Mall, and I was walking by, it must have been a phone store. I can't remember the store. It was fairly early in the morning when the mall just opened. And there's this big lineup of people. And I'm looking at them, and I'm going, geez, I wonder what they're lined up for, what they're waiting for, right? And it turned out they were in line to get the first iPhone. So that tells you how long, of course, you guys know how long I've been around. But when you think about it, and really, that wasn't that long ago in the whole scheme of things. So when you look at those type of things that have really changed the face of the earth, and again, societally and that whole thing, that's what I see this as being. And this last, however many months, it seems like it's been forever, but these last 18, 19 months, and really it's been building up to it for who knows how long, there's been essentially three phases that we've went through. And the first phase, it feels, oh, hey, Gordon, great to meet you. Great to meet you. Got any more coffee? Thanks for tuning in. See, it's been too long. There you go. The first phase of this, it feels like the destruction phase. And in a way, that's exactly what it was. And we look around and we see all these things that are basically falling down. So I like the example I use is you have a house and you've renovated this house as much as you can possibly renovate it. And now you just need to build a new house, but you're going to put the new house on the existing foundation. So in order to move this new house or to build this new house, the old house has got to go. So the first phase is really the demolition of the existing house, which ties in really wonderfully with one aspect of the two themes, or one theme of the two themes that we talk about, which is what we're calling reemergence, which is the reemergence of the feminine energy flow. We'll get into that in a second. So the house needs to be demolished. And so we look around and we see all this destruction in so many ways happening Then the second phase is the existing foundation needs to be strengthened. So you look at it and you go, okay, if there's cracks that need to be fixed, or does it need to be shored up somewhere? Maybe the foundation needs to be expanded because this new house is so much bigger than the old one. And then you move through that phase into the construction of the new house. And that's where we're at now. Now, does it mean there won't be any cleanup in phase 1 and phase 2? Of course there will. But where the flow is going now is in constructing this new house. And here's the neat thing about this new house, or this new way really of living in so many ways, is it's more magnificent than we can ever imagine. And it will change the course of our lives and lives after us and on, probably in ways that we can't even guess, in some really profound ways. And this is really the Conversations private Facebook group that we talk a lot about this. I'll get into that. Is that it's been waiting. The divine feminine energy flow, we'll talk a little bit about that, has been waiting to reemerge and to make its presence known. And that's what we see happening right now. So the live show will be two segments. The first one is going to be manifesting as you would know it. The label or the title for that one we call the 777 Club. The 777 Club, say that fast 3 times, is a private membership Facebook group. It's got some YouTube channel stuff. And each week I put out a formal, I guess you would call it, teaching video with homework assignments. We have live Zoom gatherings. I've recorded several. I don't even know how many now. I call them immersion meditations, which are really powerful. If you've ever tried it, it's really quite the thing. And all sorts of libraries and resources and networking. And then the other one is what I just call convergence. And convergence is the reemergence of what we call the feminine energy flow. And so on this show, I thought what I would do is give you a little bit of an overview of what those two themes look like. Just a few teaching topics, I guess, if you will, and give you a little bit of a taste of it as an introduction to it. All right, so let's go to, what are we going to go to first? 777 Club first. So here we go. So the 777 Club is about manifesting. Now, in our manifesting home study, and then the courses that we do, and many of you have taken it, either the home study or the in-person ones, or a combination of them. So the manifesting process has 5 steps. The first step is creating what we call your perfect desire, right? Creating what you want to manifest. Step 2, we call it living your desire on the inside. This is so powerful because it's fine to think it, to visualize it, to see it, but it's when you feel it, and that's what the teaching topic will be today, that things really start to happen. When things start to happen, it moves into step 3, which is the one we do a lot of work in. It's not probably. It's one of the most challenging, and that's managing resistance or managing the obstacles. 4th step is taking inspired action. And the 5th step, which often gets forgotten but is so powerful, is celebrating your victories. So the topic for this show, and we actually did so you 777 Club folks, I haven't uploaded it yet, but I will shortly. You'll see it by the end of the day. The title I've given it is Hooked on a Feeling. And it relates to, for the 777 folks, step 2, which is living your desire on the inside. So for the rest of you. And if you want any information about the 2 Facebook groups, the club, the convergence group, I'll put the links in the comments here afterwards so you can link through and learn more about it. And some of this stuff won't be new to you, but there's going to be... Yeah, I got it, buddy. I figured it out. Actually, agua. So water. Oh, so Spanish for water. There you go. Great to see me, water. There you are. So a lot of this won't be new to you, but there's going to be a kind of a different way of looking at and understanding it. And often it's those subtle little shifts that make all the difference. So I'm sure you guys all know about visualizing, creating that picture of your desire and your manifesting goal and creating that picture in your mind. Now, this we talk about in step 2 is that's great, but it's when we feel it in our body that things are activated. And this is so important. Yeah, cool. This is so important to understand. Because the thinking of a thing, the pictures, the movies, those dialogues you create in your mind have wonderful potential. But in order for them to be powerfully actualized, we need to feel it in our body. So when you're visualizing, what you're focusing on doing is creating sensations in your body that feel good. Like, that's what you're looking for. What you're looking for as I visualize this, as I play this out in my awareness in my mind, I'm not trying to manifest it in my physical world. That's the thing to remember. That's not what you're trying to do. The reason you're doing that is to set up a vibration in your body, which is a feeling. Now, we often call it an emotion, and that's fine, but let's break it down into something that's more mechanically understandable. Physical sensations in your body. The non-physical, you create the visualizations. That's wonderful. It sets the direction. But what empowers it and gives it form is the sensations that you feel in your body. And this is a really important clarifier. The reason that you're taking your time to do your visualization, imagining whatever that is not to make it happen out here. It's to create sensations, emotions in your body that feel good. Because it's our body that is the translator from the non-physical into the physical, which is where we get into convergence, and that's why these just flow so nicely together, but we aren't there yet. So here you're doing this, you're doing this, and you're feeling it. Now, so then we go, okay, well, I'm waiting for stuff to happen out here, right? So that's the steps. The steps are I'm picturing it here, I'm feeling it in my body, and I'm seeing the effects of it in our physical world. Now, which parts or part is your job to look after, and which part ain't none of your damn business? This is important. I've got a whole teaching about this. I'm just going to upload it and we're done the show here. Your physical world, your external world, is the one aspect of your experience where you have the least control over. And every one of us, including me, have experienced when things happen that we sure didn't want to happen, but they happened anyway. Right? Our physical world is the one aspect of our experience where we really have very, very little control, don't we? Yet we put so much emphasis on, has it changed yet? Is it here yet? Is it not here yet? What do I need to do in the physical to make it happen? When you start getting in that direction, the first thing you're going to do is do whatever you can is to stop and let go. Because that's the one thing that will derail this, like nothing else, is when you stop looking after what's your job and you start meddling in something that's none of your business. And what's none of your business is making things happen out here in the physical world. What is your business? Your business is the pictures and movies, the voices and dialogues that you create in your mind and the physical sensation that you feel as you focus on them. Because you are the only one that can create the pictures or movies, and you're the only one that can change the pictures or movies. Now, a lot of times external stimulus will trick us into changing the theme, right? Changing the script to your movie. But even though you may see something here and see something here and see something here, and then use that to change the script of your movie, so now your perfect desire is kind of, right? You're still the one that changed the script. See, so this is why your job is to take that dream, take that desire, that exists, right? It exists just as real as this. Okay? It exists. It's just in the non-physical in your mind, and it hasn't produced the effect in the physical yet. Your job is to hold on to the pictures or movies and the feeling. Hold on to the feelings. That's your job. That's what's up to you. It's your job to protect that, because that creation is your creation. You're the one that created that dream, that desire. It's yours. Nobody else's. It's yours. And nobody else is going to protect it for you, because you see, that dream and that desire, it's very much like a seed, very much like a plant. It needs to be nurtured. It needs to be fed. If there's weeds, they need to be pulled out. When it starts to come out of the ground, when I grew up on the farm, and we would get the tomato plants, right, little tomato plants, and we put them out in the garden, and we would put shingles, old wooden shingles. Gordon may remember wooden shingles. We would put wooden shingles around them, or cereal boxes actually, to protect them, because the wind and the elements, because they were inside, right? So when we put them out on the ground, we needed to protect them in some way. It's the same thing with your dream or your desire. It's not enough just to, oh, that feels good, and it's not enough. It's your job to protect that. It's your job to fight for that. It's your job to stand beside it. It's your job to say, this is true. And when this stimulus from out here tries to convince you to rewrite the script, it's your job to say, no, I'm not doing it. And I'm going to wrap this segment up because it really moves into the convergence quite nicely. And I'm going to wrap it up with a question/challenge. How bad do you want it? Do you want it bad enough to protect it? Do you want it bad enough to fight for it? Do you want it bad enough to bind its wounds when it gets damaged in some way? Because that's what it takes. Now, I'm not trying to make this into this adversarial relationship, but in many ways it does feel that way. Because as you introduce change in your physical world is going to fight back. It's really just Newtonian, right? For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction, right? So when you introduce change, don't be surprised when this starts to push back, because this resists change, which is kind of interesting. It's always changing, yet it resists interference by you, because it wants to just carry on. And you're saying, no, we're going to, instead of going this way, we're going to go this way. You're introducing interference, right? You're almost like a foreign body, and it wants to kind of eject you, right? See, and that's why it's so powerful to you to nurture your desire and to feel good about it, to hold on to the feeling. Okay, moving through to convergence. So, convergence, which is the name we've chosen, has many descriptors underneath it. You'll often hear it referred to as the divine feminine, or just feminine energy flow, earth energy, core energy, sensual energy, sexual energy. There's probably some other label. Rock the damn boat. Absolutely, Gordon. Yeah. None of us were brought here. None of us that are watching this were brought here to align with the status quo. We were brought here to shake shit up. Right. In many respects, we were not brought here to, I was going to say peace, a better word. We are not brought here to introduce compliance. We are brought here to introduce rebellion in so many ways. So, feminine energy flow, earth energy. So how can we describe that as it relates to what we've just talked about in the manifesting? So now this is a very almost oversimplified descriptor of it, but it's still accurate. So I'm going to talk about two primary energy flows in your body. And to give them directions, understanding that when we enter into the world of the non-physical, there really isn't an up or down or forwards or backwards or anything like that. But we use those as means of interacting with it. There's a flow that flows. And so I think most of you are probably familiar with your chakra system, your energy system. Just a really quick overview. There's 7 of them. I like to think of them as like non-physical organs. So you have a heart, the lungs, liver, all that kind of stuff. So these are like organs. They're just non-physical, which means you can't put them on a scale and weigh them. We have 7 of them. The first one, a root chakra, is right at the base of your spine. Second one, sacral chakra in your lower lumbar. Third one, I'll go through these pretty quickly. Third one is solar plexus in your solar plexus. The fourth one is your heart. Fifth one is your throat chakra. The sixth one is the brow. And then the 7th one is the crown. So you have 2 primary energy flows that flow this way and one that flows this way. So there's one that enters in to the crown chakra, down into the brow, through the throat, and into your heart. That's the masculine energy flow. Now, the feminine energy flow flows from beneath, flows up into your root chakra, into the sacral, into the solar plexus, and up to the heart. These 2 energy flows merge here and then radiate out. Now, again, that's an oversimplification of it, but it still is accurate. Now, an important clarifier. Masculine, feminine, not male, female. The labels are more related to the characteristics of the energy, not the gender, which they don't have. Right? So the masculine energy flow is masculine in nature. The feminine energy flow is feminine in nature, but both sexes have those energy flows. Now, how does this relate to manifesting? Well, when you create the pictures, the movies, think about it. Where do you create them? You don't create them in your foot, do you? You create them here. I mean, we do it, right? This is where. When you're thinking, this is an interesting exercise to do it. It kind of makes your eyes cross. When you're thinking about something, where are you thinking about it? Right? Is it in your elbow? Is it in your foot? It's right here, isn't it? This is where you kind of feel it. So when we're doing that, we're using masculine energy. Right? So I said in step 2 of the previous segment, you're living your desire, you're visualizing it. That's using masculine energy flow. And remember how I said, then we want to feel it, right? So you've created your perfect desire, you're visualizing it, you're feeling it on the inside, feeling it. Where does the feeling come from? The feeling comes from the feminine energy. So another descriptor for the 2 is you could say that masculine energy thinks, feminine energy feels. Now, another really important descriptor as it relates to just the topic I'm going to talk about in the show. Masculine energy consistently needs to be fed externally. So it needs external feeding, external validation, external fill in the blanks. The feminine energy flow doesn't. So the masculine energy flow expends itself unless it gets that continuing flow from the external. And for now, we'll just leave it there. So the private Facebook group, I call it the conversation that we all want to have. It talks a lot about this. We're putting on some virtual workshops. We'll be putting on in-person workshops, a lot of videos and different things like that. So if you want to be part of that group, you'll see the link below, and that's the Facebook group. So you can just hit the button. You might have to message me and I'll send you an invite to it. I'm not sure, but if you want to check it out, just let me know and we'll add you to it. The feminine energy doesn't need that. It actually builds upon itself. So the masculine gets less unless it's fed externally. The feminine actually gets more. So I mentioned in the previous segment, I'm just going to refer to it quickly here because we'll be editing these to review it. So the first phase that we've seen in what's been going on around us for the last however many months is very much like a destruction phase. The theme for the show is breaking borders and shattering paradigms. So these paradigms are belief systems, right, that have for who knows how long told us how to think, how to live, how to love, how to be, right? These constructs, these borders were built primarily from masculine energy flow. Why? Because the feminine energy flow, and I'm being a little bit generalizing now, but the feminine energy flow has been allowed to atrophy terribly. In many respects, has even been vilified, definitely negated. And so here's these constructs that are built on almost primarily, almost exclusively masculine energy flow. Well, here's the thing. They need to be fed, feed me externally in order to continue to exist. Well, when everything started getting locked down and falling apart, these structures were actually now crumbling under their own overbearing weight. So it's like these borders, these walls, were now shattering and falling down. So we looked around and you see destruction. Like think of it, how your lifestyles have changed, the things you can do, the things you can't do, all this kind of, I've often said that we could be born, live and die and not have to think. Because you've got all these borders. This is what you do when you're an infant. This is what you do when you're going to school. This is what you do after going to school. How you got the families and all that kind of stuff. Well, you see, those borders have fallen apart, which freaks people out. Now, why does it freak people out? Because just as I said, for so long, we've been putting aside these borders, inside these walls, where we don't have to think. That we're told what to do, what not to do. Well, now these borders have fallen apart. And now people have to think and they don't know what to do. Right? Now, I'm being, again, I'm not, maybe a bit extreme, but maybe not. Which is one of the reasons there's so much fear. Because now people have to, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Oh my God, I don't know what to do. And then there was a second phase, which was like a healing phase, where any cracks, if you will, were being restored and healed, and preparation. I think probably the best word for it is preparation. The first one we'll call it destruction. The second one we'll call it preparation. And the third one, which we're in right now, is rejuvenation. It's not even rebuilding. It's not even restoring. It's creating brand new. And the power, that power source that is creating the brand new, guess what? It's coming from the feminine energy flow. It's coming from the reemergence of that feminine energy flow, because the feminine energy flow is where the power is. See, here's the thing. We've been taught, I guess you could say, that control equals power, or power equals control. See, from a masculine perspective, when it's not balanced with the feminine, what it thinks is power is actually control. Control is I can tell you what to do, what not to do. I can tell them to do and what not to do. I can do things that you can't, right? So these structures were really heavy in that. Why? Because the feminine energy hadn't been allowed to atrophy. I mean, the masculine wasn't bad. It was just way the hell and gone out of balance. The feminine energy flow is where the power is. Here's the neat thing about the feminine energy flow. It doesn't need to control anything. Zero. You want to know what's really cool about that? The feminine energy flow is creative energy. It's what creates everything around us. In a way, you could call it infinitely powerful. And because it's infinitely powerful, it has a complete absence of need to control anything. Convergence, the conversations we all want to have, Facebook, I should watch the time here, the conversations we all want to have, Facebook group, and the classes and all the different things related to it. It's about understanding and welcoming the reemergence of the feminine energy flow, not to the exclusion of masculine. Because if you're masculine dominant or feminine dominant, neither one is what you want. It's a blending of the two. So what is convergence all about? What is the Conversations Facebook all about? What are the virtual classes, the in-person events? What are they all about? They're about reacquainting us to the feminine energy flow and then merging the two together. Because when you merge the two together, that's when the magic happens. For so long, we've been trying to manifest our desires using almost exclusively masculine energy, and it was never designed to do that. Masculine energy creates a blueprint. Feminine energy builds a house. This is why there's this opportunity right now to allow a whole new way of living and being and loving and working, and a whole new definition of community. You've heard me talk a lot about community with a capital C, to be given form in this world around us. And it will use vessels just like this and like you to do that. I'm going to wrap up. So to conclude this segment, the question you want to ask yourself is, do I want to be part of a brand new world in so many ways? Or do I want to sit on the sidelines on a foundation of history that really no longer exists? What will it take to do that? Well, it's going to take breaking borders and shattering paradigms. It's going to take, in many respects, a revolution. But you see, not a revolution that's built purely on masculine, when I need to control you, control this, control that. It's going to be one that's riding on the waves of the feminine energy flow with the masculine cooperating with it. The feminine energy flow is what heals bodies. The feminine energy flow is what rejuvenates us. The feminine energy flow is what gives us vitality. The feminine energy flow is what gives us hope. The feminine energy flows allows us to feel. It's sensual energy, 5 senses energy, allows us to feel in ways that we've maybe never felt before, and to explore regions and experiences that we've probably never felt before, never experienced before. It really is a brand new world that's happening. And it's happening now. And it's not just our group, but there's groups all over the world that are coming together, and they have different ways of articulating it. They have different ways of expressing it. But it's the same thing. The divine feminine, that earth energy, feminine energy, is re-emerging and making its presence known. I just lost the connection for a little bit here, is making its presence known. And I want to be part of it. How about you? All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Questions and comments, you know how to message me. If you get enough of them, we'll put a segment called Questions and Answers on here. The links for the different Facebook groups, I'm going to put in the description to this video, so you can check them out. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Share, share, share. We're all in this together. And which one do I want to use to end? I will use this one.